Hi there, this is Roger. I wanted to run you through some of the updates that you will find in version 1.3 of Prodigy for Windows. So as you can see, I have Prodigy fired up here, and you can see my magnifier icon on the screen right now. I'm going to click on that to open my document camera. And the first thing that I wanted to share with you is on the lower left of the screen. Of course, we have our back button to return to the carousel and a button to switch to our distance camera, which I'll do very quickly. And I can switch back to my text, so full screen views there. But one of the new tools that we've added is just to the right of that, the third button in from the lower left corner of your screen is a split screen view. This will allow me to see both a document and my distance camera at the same time. You'll notice a blue bounding box around my document camera right now. That means that it's my active window. So I can use pinch and zoom. I can use the scroll wheel on my mouse, or I can go to the lower right and use my zoom in and zoom out tools on my document camera. I can also click to the right and control my distance camera in the same way. The toolbar will update with the appropriate tools for each camera there. And if at any time I want to bounce out of here, I can just double click on a screen and I can exit back out to whichever camera I double click onto. Notice in the lower left that I am now cycling through my split screens. I'll tap it once more, and now you will see the screens are stacked on top of one another. I'll zoom in on my document there. Let's say I wanted to go out to my distance camera. I'll just double click onto that and we'll open up my distance camera. So again, I can click at any time on with a double click and exit out to the camera of my choice. But we will cycle through the side by side, the top, and then we'll return to whichever active camera you're using at the end. So that's the first new feature, is a split screen tool. We will ultimately bring this tool into other formats like files and other applications as we add them, but for now it will be magnifier and distance in split screen. I will navigate forward in my carousel now using the button in the lower right, and I wanted to show the next new addition, and that is within the Files application. We have added the ability to import DOCX files now, as well as the pre-existing ability to import PDF, TXT, JPEG, and PNG files. So let me cycle back to my import folder here. So I'll use that lower left corner arrow. Here's my import folder. I'll open it up. You can see I've already imported some files previously, but just to review that process, in the upper right corner, I will click on the gear wheel and I will go into my action list and choose import. And I'll go to my desktop where I have a document that I've set out there for this purpose. And I'll go ahead and import this in. A 5-page document is importing into Prodigy for Windows. Here it is. I'll click onto it. We'll open that document up. And there you can see perfect diamond edge font. Zoom in and zoom out. Have it read aloud. Let's see.
General tips, all users. 1. Explore all reading modes.
Okay, so we can have it read aloud. And now I have that in my Prodigy folder. So I definitely show that to folks. I'll come back out to the file folder level and navigate through here. The next thing that I wanted to show was that in files, we've added additional documents. So under French, you're going to find 5 full-length documents. So Romeo and Juliet, Voyage to the Center of the Earth, Les Miserables, and David Copperfield are the 5 files that are in there. They're going to be available in both English and French. So there they are again. But we've also moved the pre-existing sample files that we had into these folders. The reason we added these is we were learning that some of our users don't have document cameras, but they needed some materials to work with while they were exploring Prodigy in the trial mode. So we added those to it. Let's back out of our folders here and go into our settings and take a look at a couple of new settings that are available to you. So let's go into settings, user interface, and I'll scroll down here. An addition for this release is the ability to control your mouse pointer size. This will affect throughout the interface, not just within Prodigy, but in Windows. So essentially, we're just controlling the Windows accessibility tools to adjust our mouse size from here. Of course, we can still exit out back to Windows. If we go into System, we can go into the accessibility setup and access our Windows accessibility features as well. But we did add that mouse pointer adjustment to make it easier for users. Another tool that we have added is, let's see here, is scrolling down, is a screen magnifier tool. So if I am using a screen magnifier like Zoom Text, Supernova, or Windows Magnifier, Prodigy will now ask me if I want to turn it off. That's the default. Or I can say off, and it will turn off my screen magnifier anytime I enter into Prodigy. Or I can leave it on, which is the top choice at the top of the list there. Important to note here that if we choose off, we can turn off automatically Zoom Text and Windows Magnifier when a user enters into Prodigy. However, Supernova, we will have to present the key shortcut to do it. We could not control that, but we now have Screen Magnifier control. So a little bit more of an accessibility tool there. And then if you take a look just below, we have our usage data reporting. So users will be asked each time an update is run, would they like to share anonymous data? There's details of it at the bottom of the list.
We'd like you to share optional diagnostic and usage data. It's how we will continue to improve. None of this data includes your name.
So it is anonymous data. So just a little snippet of what it is there, but I would ask, if possible, to have all of our users opt into this. It will essentially give us snapshots of their system setup, and this will help us understand what tools are being used and how they're being used. So example, contrast setups, how many voices are installed, what languages. Those are some examples of the types of things that we will be collecting with this usage data. There are a number of other updates that we've implemented. For example, when you use pinch and zoom on a Surface tablet, we've tried to stabilize that so it doesn't hop quite as much as it did before from one level to the next. If you are reading in what we would call a teleprompter mode, screens will scroll more smoothly during that reading process. That would be when text is off and we're just scrolling through text. And a number of other sort of under the hood types of usability fixes have been implemented. I would ask that if you have ideas for development, please let us know. We're going to continue to improve Prodigy for Windows, and we're going to continue to have updates approximately every quarter of the year. So if you get us your ideas, we will try to work those into our roadmap just as soon as possible. But just to put it out there, we are looking at having the next update to version 1.4, probably sometime around the August in that back to school window timeframe. Thanks for watching. And again, as always, let us know how we're doing. Let us know what we need to do, and we'll do our best to get that into the software. Thank you. Bye-bye.